Welcome to T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. Music, comedy, and conversation featuring HB, the Honey Badger.
Honey Badger don't care.
Now, on with the show.
There is a bright star shining in the darkest of nights. Well, I may travel very far and never see such a sight. Well, it guides me home if I ever get lost. A gentle reminder from this shining source. This is my star city, Roanoke, Virginia. Hey. This is my star city, Roanoke, Virginia. Hey.
You ready, Bill?
Yep.
HB, are you ready?
TB, I'm ready.
Let's get it. This is Radio Free Roanoke, and this is episode 153, T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. HB, our very, very special guest, Bill Stanton. Bill, thank you for you and your lovely wife, Debbie, for hosting us today.
Well, you're very welcome.
You know, you've been at this for a long time, I take it. How long have you been singing and playing and writing music? You're a local singer-songwriter.
Yeah, my first writing, really serious writing of songs was in 1970. And I was at graduate school at the University of Southern Illinois. And I formed a folk group called Stanton, Sullivan, and Riley. And started writing songs really, and performing in little coffee house gigs and things like that. So it's been 1970.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
So you've been back there with David Crosby and...
David Crosby, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one of the songs that I've listened to and watched a few times that you have on YouTube, it's called Star City. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot I want to get into today with you, but take us behind the scenes on that particular song. It was like, when I listened to it, it was like that was your love letter to Roanoke almost. Yeah. Tell us about that, how that all came about.
Well, when Debbie and I moved to Roanoke, one of the first things I did was to look for a songwriters group. And I quickly came across Southwest Songwriters Association. And so for the first year or so that I belonged to what we do once a month is bring new songs in our lyric sheets, and the group critiques the songs, and then we go from there. And for the first year, I took a lot of my old CDs and my greatest hits, and just submitted those. And one night, Mike Franke, who was president of the group then, said, "Look, don't give us your greatest hits, all right? We know those are good songs already. Give us new stuff every month, all right?" And that's really, you pretty much laid it on the line there. So I remember walking out of that meeting thinking, well, what could really interest these guys, And as I walked out of the Jefferson Center, I looked up at the star, had a beautiful view of the star, and I thought, maybe I could write a song about the star. Mm-hmm. And the next morning, it wrote itself. Mm-hmm. I call it Star City.
Yeah.
And I got critiqued the week after that, and it's been one of my feature songs. Whenever I do a gig, whether I do cover tunes, I'll always put Star City in there.
Well, I bet here locally it gets a pretty good reaction.
Yeah, it's a great reaction because it's kind of a fun song to sing along with. It's got a great chorus. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in the song, Bill, you mentioned the other places you've kind of bounced around. You're from Jersey originally, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about where you grew up.
I grew up in Union City, New Jersey, which is right next, it's kind of in a cross between Hoboken and Jersey City. And I went to Jersey City State Teachers College. And so that's in the song. 23 years in New Jersey, and I taught at 3 different places since then. I've taught out in California near Fresno, moved quite a ways, taught 2 years there, and then decided to go back to graduate school in Southern Illinois, and that's when I started writing songs. But my day job has basically been teaching. Yeah.
What did you teach?
I taught writing, I taught literature, I taught everything from 7th grade remedial reading to graduate courses at Clemson University. So it really covered the gamut of literature and writing.
And then you were at Clemson. You were a Clemson Tiger before you came to Roanoke. Is that right?
we were at South Carolina, and when we moved to South Carolina, we'd lived in Jamestown, New York, for 22, 23 years, and 6 months of winter was just a little bit too much.
Really?
So we decided to move south after I retired from that position at the community college, and we wound up in Clemson. And when they saw my, some guy that got a hold of my resume and said, would you want to teach here? So I decided 16 years later to retire. So I taught a whole bunch of different courses at Clemson and had a ball.
Nice.
I loved university teaching.
I've never been to Clemson. Have you, HB?
I've only seen the tiger paws on the exit off the interstate. That's
close.
as close as I've been. Yeah.
But how big is it? I mean,
20,000.
20?
It's probably bigger now. It's probably up to 30,000 students.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't doubt that.
So it's just maybe in the Salem, Virginia range, I guess. Is that fair to say, or a little bigger?
A little bigger.
Yeah, a little
bigger, yeah.
Okay. I've never been there. So then from there, once you wrap that up,
From there,
how did you get to Roanoke? What made you say, hey, I want to go there? Let's give that a tumble.
relatives. Basically, Debbie's daughter and husband live in Roanoke, and their grandchildren were growing up, and we were missing softball games, and we were,
Yes.
decided, well, if you're going to retire, what better place than Virginia,
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, it is. We went from 6 months of winter
Yes.
to 6 months of summer,
Yes.
and here.
Yes.
And I'll take this anytime.
Yeah, you
on
get
a
all
yearly
four.
basis.
Yeah, all four seasons here.
Yeah,
that's
it's
one
lovely.
thing. Now, where all have you lived in your lifetime? What start at the beginning and go all the way through?
Where have I lived?
Cities, yes, sir.
Well, Union
States.
City, we started out 23 years, and then 2 years out in California, in Clovis, California,
Clovis.
which has a great rodeo every year, by the way.
Oh.
And then Carbondale, Illinois, at graduate school, so 2 years at graduate school, and then 25 years in Jamestown, New York. And let's see, from there we went to Clemson, South Carolina, and then to Roanoke.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
seen a lot of the country.
You have. And then you, throughout all that time, Bill, you just kept playing guitar.
Kept writing songs, kept playing guitar. I was in Southern Illinois. I was mostly acoustic folk, and we had Stanton, Sullivan, and Riley. That was a little folk group we had. Bass, lead guitar, and my rhythm guitar. And then in Jamestown, about halfway through my career there, I decided to become a rock and roll star.
Hey, now.
Yeah. And I formed a Grateful Dead copy band. We played a lot of original stuff because that's what Deadheads wanted.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Grateful Dead classics. And then we went into kind of a little bit harder rock and roll. So you'll see, if you listen to these CDs, this Electric Bill, it basically has a heavy metal song on there.
Okay. I love the name of that CD.
Electric Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an inspired title.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s or 80s, Pat Boone did a heavy metal.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
You did?
Oh,
He
yeah.
even changed his look.
He did. Leather jacket, the whole thing.
So I'm going
Yeah.
to put this under my magnifier of
There's
Electric Bill and
Bill.
see if you got like a necklace hanging there. And then bands you've played with. You have played with bands. Have you ever run across any big name artists in your travels around?
Oh, and the 10,000 Maniacs. We were good buddies with the 10,000 Maniacs.
Okay.
We,
I'm a big fan.
yeah, we practiced in one area right next to theirs for years before they made it to the Johnny Carson show.
Yeah.
And then they had to leave.
I remember the woman who was the lead singer for them. I cannot remember her name right
Yeah.
at the moment, but yeah, because she split off on her own.
She split off
Yeah.
on her own and became
Yeah.
sort of a feminist
Yeah.
icon. I'll think of it.
Natalie Merchant?
Natalie
Natalie
Merchant.
Merchant. That's
Did
it.
you, was she there when you were beside?
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
word! Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun together because they were kind of a punk band at the beginning.
Really? Yeah.
And Natalie sang with them, and she, and then all of a sudden they started doing her songs.
Right.
And they weren't a punk band anymore.
Kind of took off. Yeah.
They actually played at my son's graduation at the Jamestown High School graduation.
No way, Bill.
Really?
Yeah.
Was Natalie there?
Natalie was the lead singer. And
Oh,
she,
wow.
she has such a distinctive vocal style, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
That made her. You'd always know when you listened to the radio, when you heard her sing, and you knew it was her. Yeah.
Tiger Lily's one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
One of my wife's favorite albums of hers. But yeah, we got to see her when she came through Roanoke. Wonderful, wonderful. I came across this. I guess it's related to you being at Clemson, but you have a nickname by some of the local musicians. The Professor.
The Professor.
All right.
Tell us about that.
I do have graduate credits beyond, most people, so,
Yeah. The professor.
And Bob Schmucker coined that. I don't know.
Wow, Bob.
Professor
Bob,
Bill.
we know Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hang out with some good people, and it sounds like you still go to this songwriting.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
does that help you like develop your?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's
Yeah.
just been the greatest. I think songwriting been the greatest experience of my life. Every month I'll have a song that I've written, and you bring the lyric sheets, and you send them around, 25 copies,
Okay.
and people make remarks, and then they discuss the song, and then, if I need to revise it or I need to write it over or I need to work on something else. That's where Star City came from, and it's funny because the Happy Journey, I remember sitting around the songwriters' people and knowing that quite a few of them lived in Floyd,
Yeah.
And I said to myself, well, I've been back and forth to Floyd many times. I said, do you think they ever get sick of it? It's like going to work. And so the song came from, this chorus. If you listen to the chorus, it's, you just never get, we never tire
Yeah.
of that beautiful drive from Roanoke to Floyd.
It is beautiful. Yeah.
And that comes out in your song.
That comes out of the song.
Happy Journey, and that's our bump out song. The bump in song to our show today was Star City. But there's another song that we're going to play. It's Charlie and Me.
Yeah.
And that's a very, very personal.
Very personal.
You were telling me about over the phone, but go on, elaborate on that. What's that all about?
Yeah, my friendship with Charlie, Charlie showed up at the neighborhood, That's basically what I try to express in that song, is how different the city was, how different the urban areas were back then. And kids played out in the streets. Kids played, you'd send your kid out, the parents didn't have to worry about them. They come back and, basically we had a ball. Life was just playing, And one of the saddest experiences I had since then, about years later when we came back from California, was my sister had my two nephews, and she was taking them outside to play. And she would walk them to the playground, which was about 3 blocks away, and then walk them back, and the door closed. And I said, that just saddened me, no end. I don't know, that she couldn't just send them out,
Right.
go play, go play with your buddies. There's 50 kids from every ethnic neighborhood in the mostly Italian. And Charlie was part of that. We got in a fight the first day he showed up in the neighborhood and brushed ourselves off and became best friends for, till he graduated high school.
And then part of the video, I think it's got your high school picture and his high school picture.
Yeah.
Is that right? That's very neat.
Yeah, and all the credits we had in the. But how do you explain a childhood friendship like that? It's kind of hard because. Charlie was just there every day. He'd show up in the morning, he would play, my parents would feed him, or I'd go over to his place, and, they loved me and a big Italian family, and they were just, and that time is precious to me. The song tries to capture how precious that time was, even though it's no longer. I see him every now and then.
Where's he live now?
He lives in Florida in the winter. And in the summer he comes back, and it's Christmas and summer he comes back to his place down the shore. He was actually president of Macy's for years.
Really?
So he's loaded. He's got his own beautiful place in Florida that he goes to, and
Yeah.
has a life down there, and then when he comes back to New Jersey, he stays on the shore. One of these beautiful.
He probably goes to the parade every year.
The Macy
He's on
Parade.
his own
one of the
little,
floats.
float,
Yeah.
He had quite a career, I'm sure,
Yeah.
and he talks about it a lot. You know how he got wound up. You know, like when he graduated from Rutgers, he didn't really want to go into retail, and his advisor said, "No, you go into retail. You'll be good at that," and he did. And he became, a millionaire, I guess.
Yeah.
And it sounded like in your song, Bill, that he went to Rutgers, and then as it often
Paths
is the
divided,
case,
yeah.
We separate a little bit, and time goes on, and then you reached out and reconnected with him at some point through Facebook, or
Yeah, I called him up one day, and he was so glad to hear from me. You know, it's been a long time.
his old
Very
buddy.
emotional.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so neat. And so when you and him were growing up, it sounds like much like probably our childhood, HB. We'd leave out in the morning and come home at night.
Oh, that's the way what he was explaining is exactly how I had it. And I had a best friend that was very close.
Mm-hmm. And I did this song at the last Songwriters Forum. They had 4 songwriters at the 3rd Street Coffee House. And the last song I played in my part was Charlie and Me. And I remember this woman coming up to me after the song and said, "Wow, you took me right back there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
To my best friend. And she grew up in the city too.
Yeah.
And she said it was really wonderful. Thank you. That means the world to me when I hear that. Back in the days when kids could roam free, the city streets were friendly as far as we could see. The summer nights glowed endless with games of hide and seek, and the days were full of wonder for Charlie and me. Back when the kids could make the streets their own, when sewer plates were second base and no kids played alone, when stickball games could stop the cars so the final out could be, when lilacs grew in vacant lots for Charlie and me.
Oh, that's very nice. And I think what worked for me too, it was powerful. Just the slides you had, the kids playing and your high school pictures, and you it just came out.
Yeah.
And you could relate to it. Who does do you do your videos, or who puts that together? Because it's well done in the sense that you've got these pictures, you've got, sometimes you have the lyrics show up on the screen.
Always have the lyrics in my videos
Very
because I
nice.
think that's so important.
Yeah.
So many songs, even the songs you love, you don't know the words.
Yeah, there's
You're
certain parts in
you're
it
humming on the way to work, but you don't know the words. And I always make it a point that Randy puts, and Skip, who did the last one, puts the lyrics up. So as the song develops, you know exactly what the song is about. And I love that about my videos.
Yes.
Randy does that. The visuals, the two, Star City and The Happy Journey are movement. Randy did all the filming.
Yeah.
He did all the filming and the editing on that. And then the visuals for Charlie and Me are basically my old photographs. And then the newest one, Feel the Love, that's all Debbie's photographs.
Ah.
She took beautiful photographs of the Grand Canyon and the places that are really fit the words to the song really, really well.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that. What's your future? What's this? You just released a new song, or what? Tell us about that.
Yeah, there's a new song called Feel the Love. And
Fields of Love.
I've always wanted to do something with Debbie, and because I love her photographs. And
Did you hear that, Deb?
Yeah, I hear that.
Okay, continue, Bill.
And I just thought the song was perfect. Miracles are natural. My brother said to me, you were created to create, and that's what sets you free. And the song develops, and then her photographs are you know, I think complement the words. For me, well, miracles are natural. My brother said to me, you were created to create, and that's what set you free. Honor your persistence, set the summer to the spring. Soon you'll see the beauty in every living thing. And it really isn't hard, this path for you and me. It's just so very different as we begin to see and feel the love. Well, miracles are your birthright. And it was a song I wrote back in 2018, so it's been around a while, but that's how my songs work with the videos. It seems that the songs themselves have to have a history behind them, or have to have held up over a long time. And I did one for Dr. King, Martin Luther King is on, and that's called The Voice. And there are visuals of the civil rights movement. Actually, it's of Dr. King, and the chorus is about his voice. That his voice rejoiced. You know,
That's a good line.
Yeah.
Now, if people still want to see you, Bill, would they go to 3rd Street? Would they go to church? Where can people find you and listen to you play? Or
Well, I do the Unity Church service probably about 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay.
And I work with Janice, the pianist. If you've ever heard her, this building, I don't know if you've ever been in there, but it's at the top of a hill. And the building itself is just perfect acoustically. And Skip, who's head of the charge of sound, he mics everything up, so it's just perfect. And it's easy to get people to sing with you because they can see the words, you know, they hear the melodies, go over it once, go over it twice, and they're singing along. And in that church, it just gives me goosebumps to think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the acoustics are absolutely perfect. 3rd Street, I'm going down Sunday. I'm going to see Mike's show on Friday, but I'm going down Sunday for what they call Guitars Under the Stars.
Oh, yes. We've been.
Oh, yeah. We've been.
I want to play with some people down there. I want to jam with some people, and have people, you know.
You'll like that.
Yeah. I'm
And I
very
want to
much
do.
involved.
I'll do my songs, but I'd really like to do some cover tunes, and just really jam out on them. Tom Petty stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I love. I miss Tom
Oh,
Petty.
Bill, I
songs.
know. I do too. Yes.
I got to ask you, Bill, how many times have you been around the sun, sir? Are you clocking in around 70 years old?
I'll be 70 next January.
Very good.
Wow.
You're very impressive. You still have so much passion. My
Well,
word.
you know, you are created to create. I love that line in my song.
Yes.
And you know, when I'm not creating,
Oh, okay. We got to correct
Wait a
something
minute, we
here.
have time out. What's that? We
Yeah,
have a breaking news, HB?
Debbie, what do you want to say here?
Well, he just turned 79, and he'll be 80
Oh, I'm
next
sorry. I'm
January.
Well, it's just a
Correction there.
decade.
Only a decade. That ain't no
I
big
told
deal.
you I was bad with numbers. Yeah, I'll be 80. I'll be 80.
Yeah, you focus on writing, not numbers.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, a couple more things before we get out of your hair here, Bill. And then we're going to take a little bit different.
What hair I have left.
We're going to take a little bit different. Me too.
Yeah.
A little bit different road here. But you guys have been around, obviously. And you mentioned the Grand Canyon. If you had to recommend some place that you and Debbie have been to HB and I, that you said, wow, this was a pretty neat place. What is there any place you'd recommend?
Oh,
And it could,
so many.
It could be the Grand Canyon. We've been there, though.
Could be the Mojave Desert. Could
Really?
be. I love the Mojave. I would just. We didn't stay there, but we had a fun time driving through. And the first photograph in that collection is the. What is the oak? That oak tree that's like thousands of years old. The
Joshua?
Down near Savannah.
Oh,
on
yeah.
St.
It's down near
John's
Savannah,
Island.
Georgia,
The
and-
Angel Oak.
Yeah.
Debbie said when we went to Savannah, we had to go see the oak,
Okay.
and the oak tree is just immense,
Yeah.
and the roots go out, and it's just something I would recommend anybody to visit. The vibes there are incredible.
Yeah.
The ancient oak,
No, it's the angel oak.
the angel
Angel
oak,
Angel
The
oak,
angel
okay.
oak is the name.
Yeah.
All right, and then HB and I are both food guys. So my absolute last question is: you're from Jersey, Deb. Are you a Jersey girl?
No, I was born in Buffalo.
Well, that's
Oh.
that's good too. Go Bills!
Great food.
Yeah.
Go Bills.
Go Bills! But where would you say here in the Roanoke Valley you like to go eat?
Yeah. What y'all's go to if it's maybe a special occasion?
Well,
Or
we got
anything.
two places.
Good.
We
All right.
got two places. One is the Indian restaurant called Taja.
Taza. Okay.
Delicious.
Love that.
That's Grandin
Absolutely
Village,
delicious
right?
food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just recently found a place called Fortunato's,
Yes.
which is
Okay.
downtown Italian food.
Yeah.
Debbie absolutely swooned over it.
Okay.
And she just think it was the best pasta, best food she'd had in a long time. So those two places, Taja's and
Fortunato
Fortunato's downtown.
on Kirk.
I
Kirk
think so.
Avenue, yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
That is a wonderful place. And there are others. There are some great
Yeah.
restaurants in Roanoke.
Okay.
But they did lose a Red Lobster, which is really kind of painful because the commercials for Red Lobster these days
I know.
just make your mouth water.
Yeah.
You like them, Bill?
Oh,
Well,
Seafood. Yeah.
I used to go up to Cape Cod pretty regularly when my first marriage, and the lobster up there was just out of this world.
Oh, wonderful. HB, I'll give you the last word, and then we'll get out of their hair.
Well, Bill, I just want to say how much it's been a pleasure to interview you, and love the Star City song, the line in it where Roanoke, Virginia. Yeah, I love that.
Mike
It's a-
Franke said, only a guy from Jersey could get away with that.
But anyway, yeah. Okay.
All right, man. Go get them, Tiger.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks so much.
Thank you,
brother.
Bill.
And
Yes,
here,
sir.
take these with you. We drive through these mountains, forces of nature, they tower over this valley. Majestic creations, awesome from a distance, they reach to the sky. Amazing Blue Ridge beauty, oh so fine. From Roanoke to Floyd, we will never tire. No matter how many times we make this drive, I can't believe we live right here in paradise. We love these mountains. We drive through this valley that is now our home. We gaze out our windows at this breathtaking poem. Words really can't do this justice, oh no. But words are all I've got, all I really know. From Roanoke to Floyd, we will never tire. No matter how many times we make this drive, I can't believe we live right here in paradise. We love these mountains.